The game is great, so is the money, but they can't compare with our host, Jim Perry's Honey, on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
It's not funny, I'm hurt. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're very kind. Thank you. A honey I may be, but I'm definitely a lousy tennis player. If you saw me limping out there, I pulled a muscle playing tennis, which only proves the moral is, don't try to hit a backhand in a snowstorm, friends. But we thank Florine Netterhoff from Vancouver, Washington for the opening poem. Now let's get to the cards. Janice and Bettina, if you will, load in the cards. We have a game in progress with these Card Sharks. Philip Spencer, our champion. Hi, Philip. How are you?
Fine.
Won't you again remind us about yourself?
Sure. My name's Philip Spencer, and I've been in California now about 2 years, and we emigrated from England, and that's about it.
You enjoying California?
Beautiful.
You must be enjoying your stay with us because you've won $5,100 in cash. Good champion. Julie Walton, our challenger. Hi, Julie. Julie, won't you tell us again about yourself?
Well, I've been a student of humanities, mainly in the theater department, but I ran out of funds, so now I'm working to try to get up the money to go back to school, and all my friends know why I'm here on Card Sharks, so I can get rich and famous.
Oh, good. Well, everyone says you're very pretty, so that helps. Nice to have you here with us. Good luck to both of you. And, of course, the cards have been shuffled. The players cut them before we go on the air. Philip, the champion, plays the upper cards, the red deck. Julie, the challenger, the lower cards, the blue deck. And as you can see, Philip has a 6 now as his base card as he's moved over. He needs 2 cards. Julie, with a 5, needs 2 cards in the first game of the best 2 out of 3 match. As we left off, it's question 3 to you, Philip. Philip, we found 100 teenage girls who are babysitters and asked them, while you were babysitting, have you ever had to call your mother for advice? How many babysitters said they have had to call their mother for advice?
Well, I don't know. We have a babysitter ourselves, and they normally can cope pretty well. Otherwise, my wife wouldn't have had them around. So I think that's going to be a pretty low number. I would say about 37.
Philip says that 37 have had to call mom for advice while babysitting, Julie.
That's hard. I've been a babysitter myself for quite some time. And my experience from babysitting, a lot of times when you're younger, you really get into a fix and you don't know what to do and you call your mother. But, however, I do think it'll probably be a little bit lower on the count of they're not going to be willing to admit that they have to go to their mother for help.
I see. So you say lower. Well, if it is lower, you'll get to play your cards first. If not, it'll be Philip. And the actual number of babysitters who have called their mother for advice is 65, not lower. Philip, yes, it's higher.
I want to change that card, Jim.
I think actually it shows rather a sense of responsibility on their part. If they're not sure, yes, check with someone else. Philip, we left off with the 6 as your base card.
I'd like to change that one, Jim, please.
Whenever you win the question, you have the right to change the base card to a 6. Well, you're going to play a 6, Philip.
Great change, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go higher, Jim, higher.
Higher than a 6? Yes, with a 10.
I'm going to freeze there, Jim.
You're going to freeze it. We move the freeze bar over. Philip needs 1 card while Julie needs 2, and Philip was looking down. Yes, we are at sudden death. Someone has to win with this play of the cards. Julie, we asked 100 single women. Have you ever broken up with a man because he refused to take your relationship seriously? Yes, said someone. How many women said they have?
Broken up with a man because he refused to take him seriously.
That's right.
Well,
all of them, said someone in the audience.
usually I would think, yeah, the guys, it's really hard for them to take something seriously, and the girls like to jump into it and go for it, and the guys are a little hedgy.
So how many
with it.
have broken up because he refused to take them seriously?
I would have to say, it's probably right down the middle. I'd say 45.
45, that's right down the middle. She says 45, Julie.
Well,
Philip, what do you say?
I think the guys normally are too serious. You know, they're too serious normally. So I think it's going to be a little bit lower than that.
Lower.
Yeah.
Says the audience. Well, we'll find out. The actual number of single women who've broken up with a man because he would not take their relationship seriously is 39. Philip is right. It's lower. Philip, You've got control. You have a 10. You need 1 card. Julie is a 5. She needs 2. Do you want to play it or pass it?
I'm going to play it, Jim, and I'm going to change that card.
And this is a big change, changing that 10 to a 2.
Hey, higher, Jim.
Higher for the first game of the match. Yes, much higher with an ace. Game 1 to the champion of $100. And we'll have game 2 coming up right after we take time out for this commercial message. And we're back and ready to set up for game 2. Same 2 decks of cards as Janice deals them out. Those are the next cards off the top of the deck. Philip, we start with a question to you. We asked 100 married men, have you ever used tears to get your own way with your wife? What a terrific idea. Jonathan, I'd like a raise, please. Didn't work, huh? How many married men said that they've used tears to get their way with the wife?
Well, I don't know. It depends what the wife's like, but I would imagine that... Really.
That makes a difference, huh?
Yeah, really. No personal experiences this time. But I think it's a fairly high number. I'd say about 37.
37 men have used tears. Men!
I happen to know that there are better ways a man can get what he wants from his wife than crying, and crying just wouldn't make it with me at all. I would say it's lower than that.
Lower. Can you tell me some of the better ways, Julie? I'd like to know.
Maybe after the show.
Oh, okay. The actual number of married men who have used tears to get their own way is 4. Very much lower, Julie.
Good stuff.
No wonder Jonathan wouldn't give me the raise. Julie, you're starting with a 3.
Love it. Okay, I'll keep the 3, and I'll go higher.
Higher than a 3. Yes, a 7.
I'll freeze.
You'll freeze.
Freeze.
Taking a 1-card advantage, and of course that keeps Philip away from his cards if you don't make a mistake with yours. Julie, we asked 100 women over 40 years of age. Since you've turned 40, have you had a baby? How many women have had a baby since they turned 40?
I heard that was dangerous from somebody, but I don't know. I think by the time you're 40, you're through with having kids, so it's got to be pretty low. I'll have to say 31.
31. 31. You know, the depressing thing was Julie gave a look. She gave a look like I can't imagine anybody that ancient having a baby. Philip, higher or lower?
Well, I don't know. A lot of people are getting married about that age, but I think it's going to be lower than that, Jim.
Even lower than that?
Yeah.
The actual number of women who have had a baby since they turned 40 is 14. You're right, Philip. It's lower. Still, that's a lot. 14 of them, Philip. You're starting with a 9.
Oh, change that card, please, Jim.
Changing the 9 to a 7. Well, right on the other side of the 8.
I'm going to go against the odds and go lower this time, Jim.
So let's see if his instincts are right. Lower? Yes, he's right. Higher than a 3. It is a 9. And we move over the freeze bar with that 1-card advantage. Philip, question 3 goes to you. We asked 100 men who worked as a department store Santa Claus. Has a child ever asked you why you did not answer his letter? How many department stores Santas said a child has asked them that?
Well, I would think most kids, I've got a kid of my own, and it's the sort of question he's going to ask. And I think that's going to be pretty high, so I'm going to say about 63.
63 department store Santas have had a child say, why didn't you answer my letter?
Okay, when a child goes to see Santa Claus, he's usually all excited about this year, and he usually doesn't really. I don't think he would ask that. I think it'd be lower.
Lower than that?
Lower than that.
The actual number of Santas who've had a child ask why Santa didn't answer his letter is 50. It's lower, Julie. You're right. Yes.
Change it. Change the 7. I don't want it.
I think your logic there was, Julie, he doesn't want to rock the boat and get Santa mad at him for this year, right?
Smart.
Julie, you have a jack. Good change.
Okay, I'm going to go lower. Go with the odds.
Lower than a jack? Yes, a 4.
Good card. Good card. Okay, I'm going to go again. I'm going to go higher.
Higher than a 4, a 10. Freezing it.
Freeze.
1 card for Julie and 2 for Philip this time, and again we are at sudden death. Julie, we asked 100 marriage counselors, do you believe in love at first sight? How many marriage counselors said they do believe in love at first sight? Marriage counselors.
Marriage counselors? Okay, I don't think there'd be very many because they like to work things out logically and all this. I would have to say, they do believe in love at first sight?
How many do believe in love at first sight? Marriage counselors.
25.
25.
I don't know, Jim. I think, although they've been trained that way, that their own instincts say that it probably does work. So I'm going to say it's just a little bit higher.
Higher.
Yeah.
The actual number of marriage counselors who believe in love at first sight is 27, just a little higher, and Philip again has control.
Whoa.
With a 9, you need 2 cards. Julie with a 10 needs 1.
I'm going to change
decision.
it, Jim.
You're going to play it yourself?
I'm going to play it and change the 9.
Then it's a big change for Philip. The 9 becomes
Oh,
2.
great.
Good change.
Higher, Jim, higher.
Higher than a 2. A king.
Lower.
For the championship, lower. Yes, for the 2, and Philip will play the money cards. And a fine win for Philip. Julie, thank you for joining us. Good luck with your career.
Oh, I will.
We have some nice party gifts for you. Thank you,
Thanks
Julie.
for letting me come.
Julie Walton. Thank you, Julie. Philip, come on down here with me. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, Jim.
Philip will go for the big money right after this commercial break. Good cards up there. Now get them over there, right? Back with our champion, Philip Spencer. Another $200 for winning that match. Are you ready?
Yes, Jim.
Then let's open the board and get to the money cards. Come on up there, Philip. And the money cards shuffled and cut. Janice will start dealing them out as we give you $200 new and these 3 cards. And when you move up to the second level, we give you another $200 and 3 more cards. Now, your minimum bets, remember, are $50 until you get to the top card, the big bet. And there you must risk at least half the money. Good luck, Philip.
Thank you, Jim.
Here's $200. And remember, you can change your base card as you move up to each of the 3 levels. And you're starting with a 10.
I'd like to change that, Jim.
You can change it, but you must play this one. Changing the 10 to a king.
Good card.
change.
$200 lower. $200 lower.
$200 lower than a king. Yes, a 5.
Good card. $100 higher.
$100, risking it higher than a 5, and it is a 10.
Good card. Good card. $100 lower, Jim.
Again, a $100 bet. Lower than a 10. It is a
Oh.
7. You did it again. $600 and up goes the 7. Another $200 of betting money. You've got $800.
Change it, Jim. Change that one.
And you can change it. The 7 becomes an 8.
Oh.
Right up the middle.
Okay, I'm going to go $200 higher, Jim.
Big risk on that 8. $200 higher than the 8. Oh no, another 8. And it's not higher, so you lose $200 down to $600.
Okay, Jim, I'll go $100 higher again.
Gonna lay off it a little bit this time. $100 high. Is it higher again? You said?
Yes,
Philip?
higher.
Higher than the 8.
Oh,
With an ace. That's a great card.
Okay, Jim, $700 lower.
All of it $700 lower than an ace. It is the jack. $1,400 and up goes the jack. Big decision. Do you want to play that jack for the big bet?
I'm going to change that, Jim.
Changing the jack. Changing it to an ace. Great card.
Oh, that lower, Jim. $1,400 lower.
$2,800 or nothing. Lower than an ace.
Yeah!
$2,800. And with the 200 in the game, that is a nice round $3,000 for that game. Philip, come on down here. Very nicely done. And this fine champion is up to $8,100 in cold cash. We'll meet a new challenger right after this. Please watch. Okay, Philip. Janice is dealing out 2 brand new decks of cards, and we'll meet our next challenger on Card Sharks. Kathy Gorsline. Hello, Kathy. Welcome. Nice to have you here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Good. Won't you tell us about yourself?
All right. I'm Kathy Gorsline. I'm originally from Anchorage, Alaska. I'm a sourdough, and I now live in Salem, Oregon with my husband. Who is
Oh, you went to the warm weather.
Yes, I had to get out of that cold. But I live in Salem, Oregon with my husband, who is a fantastic artist. And even with a 14-month-old daughter, we're still on our honeymoon.
Isn't that nice? And someone told me, my spy said that your luggage got mislaid coming down here to be on the
Yes,
show, right?
I think my luggage is in Portland, fogged in, and I had about an hour to shop, and that was a fast hour when you have to hem things. So.
Well, you bought a very pretty dress.
Oh, thank you. And happy
it's-
birthday to me.
It is your birthday. Happy
Yes.
birthday, Kathy. Nice to
Thank
have you here. You've cut the cards?
I got.
Then we're all set to go.
Thank you.
Kathy will play the lower cards, the blue deck, Philip the upper cards, the red deck, and we start with a question to you, Philip. Philip, we found 100 house husbands. These are all men who stay home and take care of the house and kids while their wife works. And we asked them, house husbands, have you ever been to a Tupperware party? How many house husbands said yes, they've been to a Tupperware party?
I don't know. I was a house husband, but I think I'd have turned a Tupperware party down, actually. So I'm going to say it's very low, probably about 5.
Why would you have turned the Tupperware party down?
Well, it's a hen party, basically.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
He says that 5 have been to a Tupperware party, Kathy.
Well, I tell you, a Tupperware party, in the past I think it was pretty good, but now I think there may be a few that would go, so I think maybe just a little bit higher. They might want to see just what's cooking nowadays in what.
Is that a pun to see what's cooking at the Tupperware party? You say higher. The actual number of house husbands who've been to a Tupperware party is 15. You're right, Kathy. It is a little bit higher. And the challenger gets the first look at her base card. A queen.
Queen, okay. Queen, definitely lower.
Lower than a queen. Yes,
Oh,
3.
excellent. I'm going higher.
Higher than a 3. It is a 5.
5. Higher than a 5.
You're going to risk it, risking both of those cards and this one higher. Yes!
Lower.
Lower for the first game of the match. She did it. 4 cards. Wow. Challenger has game 1, just like that, and $100. And Janice will set up for game 2 with the same 2 decks of cards. Kathy, I must ask you, did you pay for the dress with that game?
I paid every bit of it, but I'm going to that airline as fast as I can.
Good. So here come the next cards off the top of the deck, and a question to you this time, Kathy. We asked 100 bachelors, would you marry a woman who said to you, don't ever ask me about my past? How many bachelors said they would marry her anyway?
Well, I think marriage is based on what's there at the present time. I have a wonderful marriage, and knowing him, I would have forgot his past anytime. So,
Even if he said, don't ever ask me about it?
Even if he said, don't ever ask me. I take him for what he is, and, I think the men that would marry, or the women that would marry without...
How many bachelors said they would marry her anyway?
I'll say about 50.
50, right up the middle, Philip. Higher or lower?
I don't think it makes that much difference, so I think it's going to be higher.
Even higher than that? The actual number of bachelors who would marry a woman who said, don't ever ask me about my past is 31, not higher. Kathy. Yeah, you were talking about faith. I think that kind of shows a lack of faith to say, don't ask me about it. So Kathy gets a 3.
Oh, fantastic. Higher than a 3.
Higher than a 3.
Oh.
A 4, still.
Go higher than a 4.
Higher than a 4. No. And the first time the cards have turned against Kathy. A break for Philip, who will play a 7.
Okay, Jim, I'm going to go against the odds and say lower.
Lower than that 7. He can't change it. He didn't win the question, and it is yes,
okay.
a 4.
Higher, Jim, higher.
Higher than a 4. A queen.
Lower.
Lower than a queen. A 2.
Higher.
4 cards in a row to tie it. Yes, with a 3. And both players have done it with a 4-card run. Wow. I can't remember when that's happened, and we are tied at 1-1. We'll set up for the tiebreaker. Just 3 cards up there and 3 questions here. Philip, the question goes to you. We asked 100 people, very simply, do you believe in vampires? How many people said yes, they believe in vampires?
Well, I don't really believe in vampires, and I don't think the majority of people do. So I'm going to say that's pretty low, around about 34.
34 people said they believe in vampires.
Lower. I think people, they're too realistic nowadays. I don't think vampires are as realistic as most think so.
Lower than that. The actual number of people who believe in vampires is 10. Lower. Kathy, you have that all-important control, Kathy, and you start with an ace.
Lower than an ace.
Lower than the ace, a 10.
Freeze on a 10.
You'll freeze it. Kathy needs 1 card for the championship, and the question goes to you, Kathy. Kathy, we asked 100 people. Have you ever been so angry at your alarm clock for waking you up in the morning that you threw it across the room? How many people said they have?
Oh, I think that's pretty high. I know I've thrown mine a few times, and I know most
Kathy?
people have. I would say about 70.
70. Higher or lower, Philip?
Well, today it's mostly electric, so I'm going to say it's lower.
Lower. The actual number of people who've thrown their alarm clock across the room is 10. Very much lower. Philip? They threw their alarm clock, their alarm crock, the whole thing. Philip, you're starting with a king.
Oh, great. Lower, Jim.
Lower than a king. Oh, no, it's an ace. Not lower. Kathy, a break to play off the 10 for the championship.
Change that 10!
You cannot change it. You did not win the question.
Okay, lower than a 10.
Lower than a 10 for the championship. Yeah! You're the new champion on Card Sharks. Kathy, congratulations. And Philip, you're leaving us a fine champion, $8,200. Thank you, Philip Spencer. Kathy, come on down here and we'll take time out for this commercial break. Way to go. Kathy Grossline celebrated her birthday by winning the match, and she'll go for the big money when next we meet on Card Sharks. Bye-bye for now.
A representative of the studio audience will receive a Lever Brothers telephone extension phone, an elegant designer phone. Ideal extension equipped for easy installation. Telephone furnished by Lever Brothers. And some of our contestants will receive Edison Comfort Sensor Room Heater. 3 heat levels, 2-speed fan, features built-in 24-hour multi-programmable timer, automatically controls heat. And a handsome fireplace set and 12 sterno logs, easy lighter. No newspaper kindling needed. One match lights a 3-hour sterno log. And a gift certificate from Ben Franklin Stores. We carry national brands at prices you like. Discover Ben Franklin, we bring variety to life. And 6 passes to see Robert Shaw, Harrison Ford, Barbara Bach, Edward Fox, Franco Nero, and Carl Weathers in the electrifying adventure Force 10 from Navarone, coming to theaters this Christmas. This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Sharks, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.